Looks like the sea's settled somewhat. We've got a map of the Altaberry region too. I'd say we're set.
Now we can leave with our minds clear and pockets full, eh? Where are those brothers? Out on errands?
I say we just leave them behind.
Yeah, that seems like a bad idea.
Well, long as we've got a minute alone, let's go over our plan. As soon as we get to Altaberry, we give Luis the fake lance Nuris made up for us.
While I hold on to the real one.
Then, on the eve of this divine relic dedication ceremony, we use the real lance to end this, once and for all. He doesn't know we've worked out its powers. We'll use that to our advantage. Juna, we'll need you to convince Luis to attend the eve of the festival.
Oh, I've been pestering him to do so for a while now. Don't want him spending the evening in his heavily fortified Skyrunner after all.
So where is the false lance in question?
Right here, ready to poke an eye out. Well, what do you think? A dead ringer, eh?
Such detail. Even I can't tell them apart.
When we get to Altaberry, we'll pass off the fake to Luis. Then, we execute our plan.
Oh, by the way, I was talking with the Magnus brothers earlier. Think they might be onto us.
That's not good. We'll need to be more careful.
Wait, footsteps. Speak of the devils. We'll need to hide the real lance.
You're late. We were about to leave you behind.
Right, all present and counted? Anchors away, what?
Aye aye, me hearties!
You feel so cute.
What's wrong then? Is that not the customary exclamation of sailors? Mr. Batlin was very specific.
I wouldn't believe everything he says.
'Tis a strange melancholy, leaving the people we have so recently come to know.
We'll be back. With some fantastic tales to tell them too.
Yes, certainly.
This is Altaberry Heights. We'll make faster progress back on land.
Oh, so it's snowy weather over there. So what are we
Let us
supposed to
hurry.
do? Wait, will we make it in time? Well, without a problem. This fine wind will have us making landfall by tomorrow, so the whole trip should be 2 nights with 3 days of travel. So I'll only have to endure 1 day of being rock sick. Now there's a grim face if I ever saw one. Captain, for Stroll's sake, let us make haste.
Tally-ho then.
Then full speed ahead to Altaberry Heights, capital of Montario. Take care that you don't tumble overboard now.
With a new ally in tow, the Gauntlet Runner at last departs the island toward the eastern side of the inland sea. Their destination is the Principality of Montario. Its vast mountain crags, so different from the western terrain, can be seen clearly from the water. Their forthcoming task would be their greatest trial yet. They felt the tension rise in wordless silence.
Indeed.
2 more days until we reach Altaberry. At least the journey, we don't have to worry about that sea monster anymore. Is there anybody that wants to talk to me? Nobody wants to talk to me.
Seriously.
You realize there was probably a way to get that lance that didn't involve saving the pagan girl, yeah? Though I suppose I can't complain since you got the lance either way. Still, if you want Count Luis's favor, take my advice and stop playing the hero.
You.
Gotta hand it to you. Can't believe you actually got that relic off him. Couldn't afford to cut up a job from Lord Luis though, could you? Otherwise you'd be dead weight.
All right. Right. Got it.
We'll use the bathroom and shower, see if we get... Okay, so we got some experience there. Check the pantry for some foods. Let's use our speed cooking. Fully restores HP for all allies. Oh my god. Increase hit rate. MP. So this one right here, the fully restores HP for all allies. Let's go ahead and get this one.
Let's check.
Hey.
Courage? No, I don't need courage. I really want imagination.
Well met.
Wisdom? No, I don't care about wisdom. Thank goodness we're finally bidding farewell to that sweltering heat. The island and its people were absolutely lovely though. How do the islanders deal with such heat? Though I suppose hair like mine only amplifies the problem.
All right then.
I think maybe reading a book for imagination is going to be the best thing that we can do right now. I already found all the relics in that location. Already found all the relics in that location. I already found all the relics in that location. Okay, so I found all the relics so far. Let's improve our imagination. Really the only thing we can do. Or the only thing that I really want to do. Yeah, let's go ahead and finish this book.
What's that?
He stared up at the heavens, though a sparkle in the azure firmament caught his eye. The moon? At midday? No. Despite its cold, stony glow, this was no moon, no star. There were those who said it was the corpse of an ancient, indomitable dragon. Others said it was a pavilion in the sky erected by Empyrean beings.
Oh, yeah?
So he seems a strange light shining in the sky. The way it's written, I feel like this light is meant to be the key to the new world or something. What do you think the light is? The remains of a dragon or a pavilion built by the Empyrean beings?
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Yeah, there's something dreamlike about people who live in the sky, isn't there? You think they have wings?
All right.
Oh, close to 4. I know this new world is just fictional, but I'd want to visit it if it were a real place. There's still more left to read in this book. I'll pick it up for next
The
time.
Gauntlet Runner arrives at Cliffshade Camp. just as the curtain of night descends on the wilderness.
Nice.
Ideal for their cover. It works both ways, as monsters and rogues alike await their victims in the shadows of the rocks. Only a gauntlet runner offers peace of mind against such dangers, a large reason why they are so sought after.
Indeed.
Should reach the city by the day after tomorrow. I can feel the temperature dropping since we made landfall. I bet it's pretty cold in Altaberry.
Pardon?
Oh, Poogie, if you're free, I just finished meditating. I'd like to talk to you, but never mind. Ooh, so I can learn imagination. I bet all these are imagination right now. Now that we've made landfall, I admit I missed the sight of the sea runner gliding gracefully through the water. Then again, quite nothing like the sight of those legs kicking off the ground with all that power. Tonight I shall bask in the beauty of our fine gauntlet runner. Nobody wants to talk to me.
All right then.
Trying to think. We can plant a seed or work on our imagination. I think we're gonna work on our imagination. Let's talk to you. I think Aoife's cute. I've only heard about the outside world from imported books and my brother's stories. I can't believe that starting today I'll get to travel those lands for myself. I never would have had the confidence to attempt such a venture on my own. I'm truly glad to have met you and everyone else, Poogie.
Yeah.
We're all glad to have you here with us. Yes, you have all been so incredibly kind. Our conversations have made me feel quite welcome. Speaking of which, Juna graciously gave me some advice about trips such as this one. She said, make sure you keep one eye on your wallet whenever you're in town, and never ever ever follow a stranger somewhere. Juna's kindness truly knows no end. I feel quite lucky to have gone on a trip with so many people watching over me. That reminds me, I meant to ask you, what were things like when you began this journey, Poogie? I must admit, I am somewhat curious about the place where your mission began. It is my hope that one day, when this is all over, that I might visit it. Let my imagination grow as Aoife and I discuss the possibilities ahead of us.
All right.
Boom, 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 boom. So close. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having so much fun talking with you. The time escaped me. Is it alright if we continue? Of course. I'll spend all night with you, Aoife. Aoife and I talked for a while.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
It would seem that...
We now stand among the mountains. I have long gazed at the peaks of Montario from the island, but I never would have imagined that I get to see them this close. Altaberry remains cold year-round, so quite accordingly, its people have perfected the art of the piping hot stew. It is home to the foremost opera house in the kingdom, as well. I suppose that will be the stage of our confrontation with Louise.
Yes.
Let's keep our hopes high. There's some tall mountains on the horizon. Let's make sure our preparations are completed by tomorrow night. About time we made it to the mountains. Never much minded sea travel myself. Basilio, though, he turns green at the thought. We're returning to land earlier than I expected. Shame about leaving behind the fishing. We had the luxury of time on our journey. I wonder what bounties of the mountain and woodlands I might have found as well.
Hey.
Seems like Dell's foot is all healed up now, thanks to Lady Rilla. Now what's got you looking so pleased? Can't make sense of it all. I don't know. Maybe I should plant something.
All right.
See if we can raise our luck here.
Right.
No luck. At 200 MP, it's pretty good.
Okay, so
Lady Juno wants to cook with me. We got speed cooking.
Actually,
Let's go ahead and play with
I'm
Yufa a
very
little bit
happy.
more. Let's meditate with Yufa. I think I hear wolves howling in the distance, but there's no way they could be so near the Gauntlet Runner, could they? Clear away your thoughts, Poogie.
may I?
During meditation, you must do not but feel yourself where you are, and in this time and place, and accept it. No matter what you hear, just listen. Let things be as they are, abandoning yourself to the great flow of everything. I should try to do what Yufa's telling me. Let things be as they are, but how? Breathe deeply. I feel like I'm gazing down at myself from all that surrounds me from high above the ground. I feel like my imagination has increased since I was able to come out of my shell and broaden my horizons.
Now then.
Yes! We got it to level 4!
Imagination.
This is one of the virtues a ruler must possess. If a true sovereignty is thy aspiration, furnish thyself with the creativity to bring the ideal world of thy thoughts to fruition. The conqueror needs the precious kindling with which a follower's passion may be inflamed.
Farewell.
Seems you've relaxed a little, so let's keep this up a bit longer, shall we? I continued to meditate with Yufa for a while.
Come look at this!
Ahoy! You lot aren't going to believe the view I'm seeing outside. I'm hitting the brakes. Ooh, another photo for Maria! We have
The
another photo
Gauntlet
for
Runner makes a
Maria.
short stop in front of Colorodeo Cliff, a bluff so tremendous it fills one's vision. Its massive fissure is said to be the vestige of a god's wrath, as only a force capable of splitting heaven and earth could cause it. Perfectly balanced by the work of nature, or the wrath of gods extolled in the myths of creation, none can say.
Oh, this is cool.
Whoa.
Absolutely incredible. I heard of sheer cliffs before, but I never imagined something like this. Indeed, falling off the precipice would be unfathomably terrifying and exhilarating, I imagine. Makes me want to scream. I don't know why, but I suddenly want to scream out into the distance.
On guard!
Dad, ball-faced sanctus scullions!
What?
Oh, hey, oi! What's gotten into you? Why, that was rather pleasing. It's quite refreshing, you know, to pull your voice from the very bottom of your gut and yell in such a manner.
Speaking of...
It reminded me of the time you were all yelling before me. It was a rather terrible experience, I admit, but if I may, I would like to try my hand at this yelling. Oh yes, he has sensitive ears. I forgot about that.
Listen!
Never again shall I sleep in a roach-infested inn. Oh, Heisman, you're so funny. I feel you, buddy. I'm there with you, buddy. How amusing. I would also like to try screaming as well. But what's the matter? I fully intended to do it, but the words just won't come out at all, and oh, this girl is just too charming. Never change, love. Well, does anybody else have something to yell about? I sensed that gazing off the cliff's edge and being filled with an unexplainable urge to scream has somehow broadened my wisdom.
All right.
Courage is the next one I want to get up to 5.
As for me,
Oh ho! Then I suppose it's old Neurus's turn. I prepared a list of complaints that I could recite to you all on a daily basis, and... Rather chilly out here, isn't it? We should head back before we all catch a cold. Yes, we shouldn't allow ourselves to spend too much time on these distractions.
bombs away!
But I must scream! As always, I've drawn this place here. Cliff drawing for Maria.
The Gauntlet Runner stops amidst rocky terrain as twilight envelops the wilderness in darkness. The twinkling lights are not all stars. Some are the eyes of monsters, peering through the dark. To await the dawn in comfort and peace is a privilege only the Gauntlet Runner can provide.
Should arrive by this time tomorrow. We've only a limited amount of time left to enjoy these quiet moments. Once we get to Altaberry, well, you know what's gonna happen. I think
All right.
I want to
Let's head there right
try. So Wonder Salt's a Niflin blend. Strength by 2. Magic by 2. Ooh. Let's do the strength by 2. No! No! Oh, I didn't use the bath salt. I wanted to do my strength plus 2. Ha,
Time marches
dang
on,
it.
and the age of a new king draws nearer.
That's unfortunate. I wasted
It's nearly time.
I wasted a whole evening. Tis only a ways further until we reach Altaberry. The city is likely abuzz with activity related to Saint's Day. I wonder if Luis is already there. Sooner or later, we have to hand Dracodios over to him. One must wonder what the brothers will tell him of our time on the island. I hope they will leave out any unnecessary details. We just have to stand tall and be confident. If you have to sell a lie, look them straight in the eye and say every word you like you truly believe it.
All right then.
Tonight we delivered the lance to Luis. This will be the last time to relax for a while. Once we arrive, we'll be jumping right into it. I can't blame you for feeling nervous. After all, we know what's coming. Don't. Let's do our speed cooking. Let's use the restroom. And check to see if we can get more luck.
Right.
No, let's get our free 100 XP. Let's get our speed cooking going.
Let's check. What do you want to do?
Grant special powers to the ones. Oh, if I pray here, my allies' max MP will increase.
Not doing that?
Let's
Hey!
plant seed.
Whoa!
Nira speaking.
I've got something on the old girl's radar, so we'll be taking a short stop. Is this
Before
another photo?
Altaberry's mountains, the Gauntlet Runner sets upon the murky graveyard. The colossal bridges overhead are an impressive sight. During the Annex War, this land was a fierce battleground. Many soldiers, unable to return to their loved ones, found their final rest here. But few honor the dead. Their spirits take no solace. Their tragic remains are desecrated by wild dogs, leaving their bones exposed to the elements.
Just look at it!
Whoa, these bridges are huge. It's an area defined by its numerous valleys. The bridges connect the flatlands and increase the amount of places in which people may live. Oh, that makes sense. But if these bridges were to fall in battle, those people would end up isolated. Yes, all very fascinating, but have you looked at what's directly in front of you? Those are bones of people, aren't they? Well, those are the remains of those who fell during the Annex War. This was the site of a fierce battle, and the dead were left to the elements, denied their dignity of a proper burial. So you're saying this land has been cursed for a long time? Speaking in such superstition terms will avail us not. Real people fought and died here. Brings me no pleasure to see it, yet 'tis a valuable experience, the cold reality of battle, beyond the legends and tales of valor. Carve this memory into your hearts. That is why the magla that drifts about this place carries such an oppressive weight. I can feel the sadness and regret of those whose lives came to an end here. We increase our wisdom has deepened after considering those who have found their eternal rest.
All right.
Hey.
Something wrong, Norris? Your face has gone blue. There's a shadow behind.
That.
Mind you, Norris, I just saw. Ah! Do refrain from doing that again. Things of this matter are not my forte. Why, Norris, I'm surprised you put any stock in scary stories. You're a more gentle soul than I gave you credit for. Too true, too true. Before all else, I am a delicate flower.
Well then.
Shall we make our quiet departure so as not to rouse the dead?
That's my fault.
I'm sorry to have made such a fuss. I would like to give those who died a proper send-off, and I drew this with this in mind. So, something else for
Altabury Heights, capital of the Principality of Montario, the eastmost country annexed into the Kingdom of Uchronia. The mountain path leading to the city begins near the coastline, but few gauntlet runners can contend against its steep slope. Those who complete the arduous climb are rewarded. City lights, dusted with snow, twinkle beautifully in the valley. But what awaits the party there is no reward, but their greatest trial thus far. The hour of reckoning draws near, and they steel themselves anew.
The seat of sanctism, Altabury. Truly, I never thought I would see it in person. What is that giant structure?
The monolith. In Sanctus Scripture, they tell of how the stone was shaped by God's own hand.
It's afloat. I'd only heard rumors that it didn't touch the ground, but to see it now.
Are we finally moving again?
Just another trip for our songstress.
We're here at last.
We decided to present Luis with Dracodios, Lance of the Dragon God, aboard his gauntlet runner, the Charadrius. Let's hope he doesn't find out that the lance is a fake.
Well done. So this is the Lance of Legend, is it?
I am called Euphrasia, priestess of the island. For personal reasons, I have joined them on their journey.
You do not detest me?
I owe my life to them, and I understand they operate under your guidance.
Indeed. I had heard you were able to obtain the lance without incurring the islanders' hatred. Quite a feat, now that I know it to be true. Well done. At last, it seems that even fate has abandoned Fortin. Thanks to you, I was spared the effort of sifting through ashes to find this. If the islanders could not be persuaded, my next course would have been to raise their village to the ground. The Charadrius' batteries would make that a fairly simple task.
What?
Why are you surprised? At times, sacrifice is necessary to save the many. Was that not the exact reasoning by which your countrymen would have seen you die?
Oh, shit.
You're...
No, you control your feelings. Please don't ruin this for us.
Have the lance brought to my chamber later. Thank you for your hard work in spite of your wound. Take care of yourselves. Now we need only to wait until tomorrow for the Saints' Day festival.
The whole event will be held over 2 days at the Opera House.
The first day is the eve of the festival, and I'm scheduled to sing. Hope you're looking forward to it.
Main festivities start on the second day. That's when all these divine relics will be dedicated and sealed. It's aimed at proving beyond a doubt that sanctism is the highest authority.
All kind of daft though, isn't it? If they were that confident in their scriptures, you'd think they wouldn't have to bother with all that.
This is where Forden dies. He and sanctism itself. At the very least, it's worth giving him a memorable end.
Lord Louise, I do hope you'll come and watch me sing this time. We missed you at the opening ceremony. If you're not there, it'll hardly be worth it.
You needn't worry. Having come all this way, it will be a waste not to show.
Well, I'm off to check out the Opera House. Want to make sure everything's shipshape for my solo, of course. The rest is up to you.
You have all performed admirably. You exceeded my every expectation. Soon, Forden's reign will come crashing down. From this point onward, I would have you forfeit the competition and dedicate yourself fully to my campaign.
I can't do that.
Understood.
For now, rest your wings a while. Tomorrow's festivities will be a grand show indeed.
Damn, this game is so good, dude.
It seems the lance passed muster. Eurus is a peerless craftsman, if not else.
Yufa, are you okay?
He would have destroyed my home. How could he suggest such carnage with not a shade of guilt? I was sure that deep down, all people are inherently good at heart. Now... You made it sound like you were bound to kill him at any cost. And now I understand why.
I see. Then let's get back on track and go find ourselves an inn. You've got more supporters now. I dare say we'll find better lodging than we could before.
I wouldn't be so sure. This city's in the palm of Forden's hand, and we're the ones who humiliated him during the exhibition.
All the same, we're about to do something big. To be honest, I'll take anywhere, so long as I can stretch out.
Here's as good as any spot to make camp.
Why? That's worse than staying in the runner.
Then why don't we look for an inn run by a Mustari?
I thought this city was the seat of the church.
In times before the church, it's said many diverse faiths and teachings took root in this city. That's why Montario is the only mainland nation that trades with the islands.
Indeed. My grandfather often said that until his generation, the only prominent building of the Sanctus Church was that opera house. Though the prevailing story now, of course, is that Sanctism reclaimed this land from malevolent pagans.
Either way, I'm certain there should be quite a few Mustari who feign conversion and live in seclusion.
If one of these Mustarians really exists, it may work in our favor. Let's look for it.
A whole new
Speaking
city to
of-
explore. If this Mistari-owned inn is if we seek, then I know of one in the center of Talon. It's called the Skyward Tavern. If I recall it being rather pleasant, but very little that would point it to Mistari
Certainly.
roots. It was on Dio Franco Street, if I'm not mistaken. It's so cold. At least Hulkenberg is in her element. Can we get going before we freeze, though? A whole new city.